Now, most of Bali, I would say, is not really known for its beautiful beaches. Most of the beaches just look brown or blackish, and they're also known as the black sand beaches. But if you do want to find those pearly white sand beaches with the amazing blue water, you will have to need to visit the southern side of Bali, and specifically the area known as South Kuta, which is to the southern part of the airport. And it contains areas like Jimbaran, but also places like Uluwatu, Unggasan, and Nusa Dua. So if you do want to find those beautiful white sand beaches with the turquoise blue water and the rolling wave surf, you'll have to visit that area of Bali. Now, I tried my best to go around the complete southern peninsula just to give you an impression of all the different beaches that you can find there. Because if you are a lover of beaches, just to either go and relax there, sunbathe, or you just enjoy the general look and vibe of a beach, then the southern side of Bali is the place for you to visit. Because the nice thing about the beaches there is that they all have their own little vibe. You have luxury beaches, you have more secluded beaches that are really small, but you also have large stretched out beaches that are quiet, but also very visited by tourists or with beach clubs. Surfer beaches, whatever it is, you can name it. You can find it all in the southern side of Bali. So that is in this little video series that I'm probably going to call The Beaches of South Kuta. I would like to give you the best impression possible of all the different beaches that you can find there. So stay tuned, because I'm going to show you all the different beaches that I visited there during my trip in Bali. And I'm going to start with Nusa Dua. Now, on the eastern side of the South Kuta Peninsula is where you'll find Nusa Dua. Nusa Dua is mainly known for its grand luxury resorts, because back in the 70s they started building all these luxury beachside resorts to attract more foreign guests. And because of this, there is a huge difference between the Nusa Dua area and the surrounding areas. To get into Nusa Dua, you'll have to drive through one of the security checkpoints. And I have never come across any other of these kind of checkpoints on Bali before, so that already gives you an impression of that this is going to be something different. And also even the road leading up towards these checkpoints, they are all better maintained, the trees and the grass around it are all well cut, and if you drive through one of the main security checkpoints, this huge old style gate will pop up in the distance. And once you enter Nusa Dua, you immediately notice a huge difference in how much grander everything is set up in here. It just oozes luxury, as all the roads are bigger, better maintained, you have these beautiful green patches of grass around it, all the trees are well maintained and beautifully cut, and at all the different intersections you have these huge fountains and statues that just look absolutely amazing. And also, the funny thing is, all of the sidewalks, they're all perfectly in order. And if you are familiar with Bali and you know that if the sidewalks are all in order, they mean business. So yeah, that is just the thing. There's this stark difference between Nusa Dua and the surrounding areas. And it all looks absolutely amazing, but sometimes it also just brings this question to mind, like, why? But nonetheless, it looks absolutely gorgeous. Now, all the large resorts, they provide beachside access. But if you're just visiting Nusa Dua, just like I was, you'll have to drive a little bit more south to Nusa Dua, and there you'll find this gate which has a little road sign on the left of it saying Yala Pentai Mengiat, and that road will lead you directly to the beach. And once you reach the beachfront, you'll be greeted by this golden brown sand and this amazingly clear blue ocean water. Now, Nusa Dua beach stretches quite far along the coast, because it goes all the way along the different resorts. And there is this really long walkway that can take you all the way along the beach. And it can take you to one end of the beach where you'll find Geger beach. Or you can walk in a different direction of Nusa Dua beach, and then you'll end up at the Garden of the Peninsula. And as mentioned before, this whole beachfront is connected to all the different luxury resorts. So all the beaches look really well maintained. And you'll come across these large complexes and villa compounds when you're walking along the beach. But also when I was walking there, some of the resorts did seem abandoned. So I'm not really sure if they weren't able to survive the pandemic, but this was during the filming around June 2022. Now if you were to go in the northern direction, you can end up at this little peninsula named the Garden of Hope Peninsula, and it's open for public to visit. The peninsula itself is a very chill place to visit, because it's very quiet and a very big and open place. And if you would arrive there, the first thing you'll probably notice is this huge rock that is standing in the middle, and I think it was commemorating something like a tree planting done by several countries around the world. And if you look beyond it, you'll see this huge statue of what I think was two warriors. And I also think it was commemorating something, but I wasn't really sure what it was. And besides that, if you go to one side of the peninsula, you can find this very nice and calm little alcove, and it has nice shadows from the trees around it, so during the day you can find a little bit of shade there, and it provides you a nice view over Nusa Dua beach in the distance. And this is also my best attempt at trying to film some of the wildlife over there. So see if you can notice the upside down hanging squirrel here in this picture. And if you were to go to the other side of the peninsula, there you can find this huge helipad, which has a nice patch of grass around it, which provides a perfect lookout over the ocean from there. And from there you can spot all the waves crashing into the rocks below, which is also a quite serene little picture to observe. Now, unfortunately, the guard told me that I wasn't allowed to fly my drone over there, or along most of the Nusa Dua beach part, to be honest. But otherwise, it would have made for some really nice aerial pictures. And that, in short, is Nusa Dua and Nusa Dua Beach. Geger Beach lies at the most southern tip of Nusa Dua Beach in the South Kuta Peninsula. It is very easily recognizable because the Geger temple lies clearly visible on top of the cliffs over there. And also, if you look in the water right in front of it, you can see this very distinguishable wave breaker lying in the shore over there. And besides that, Geger Beach is also located right in front of the Mulia Resort. And this resort also has these huge characteristic statues in all of their pools of ladies holding either a plate on their head or in their hand, pouring down the water in the pools down below. So with all of these items, Geger Beach is very easily recognizable and easy to find here in Nusa Dua. Now, I walked all the way from Nusa Dua Beach to Geger Beach, but if you want to go there directly, that is also possible, because there is a road that leads you up to the Geger temple. From there, there's a little small road that leads you down to Geger Beach. So you don't need to walk all the way from Nusa Dua Beach to Geger Beach like I did. And as Geger Beach is a direct extension of Nusa Dua Beach, everything here looks very well maintained. It also has this golden brown sand and this perfect clear blue water from the ocean. And all of this is even better to be admired from the skies. And if you stand on the beach, or on the wave breaker, you're able to see far and wide. With Nusa Penida clearly visible on a clear day like this. And if you're standing on the wave breaker, don't miss to look around a little, because you can spot these little crabs everywhere trying to soak up the sun. And that is Geger Beach, a small secluded luxury beach with an amazing view. Pandawa Beach is located on the southern side of the South Kuta Peninsula. It is one of the larger cliffside beaches. And I'm referring to it like that because to get there, you'll have to drive down the cliffside to reach the beach. On your drive over there, you'll be greeted by a large traditional Balinese gate. And when you continue driving, the road all of a sudden changes into this wide and well-maintained road that even seems to have signage for dedicated lanes for cars, buses, and motorbikes. And a little further you'll reach the ticket booth. Now entrance for one person, if you're a foreigner on a motorbike, is 15k IDR. And from there you continue down this large road, past what looks like the early skeleton of an abandoned resort. And you'll turn a little towards the right, where you will be presented with an amazing view over the ocean. And Pandawa Beach. The area itself is a big area with some open fields. But the beachfront itself is closely packed with small shops and restaurants. And what is pretty characteristic about this beach is this large white tower that resides near the beachfront. It is one of those things that you cannot miss. And besides that, some other characteristic items on your way down to the beach is this amazing statue in the middle of the roundabout and these statues in the hollowed out cliffside. And there is also this amazing lookout on the cliff along the road. It gives you a really nice view over Pandawa Beach and the coastline. But honestly, the view from one of these cliffside villa properties must also be pretty damn sweet. And that is Pandawa Beach. The next beach that I would like to show you is a bit of a semi-hidden beach. It's a bit smaller and secluded, and a little bit harder to reach because you need to go down a flight of stairs to reach it. And it's probably best to go there when it's low tide. The name of this beach is Green Ball Beach. It is located on the southern side of the peninsula, in between Melasti Beach and Pandawa Beach. It is easy to reach by car or motorbike with plenty of parking space. So when you arrive there, you'll be greeted with some locals sitting at the gate, which is where you'll have to pay for your entrance ticket. And the entrance for one person on a motorbike is 7k IDR if you're a foreigner. From there, you'll no doubt be approached by some local elderly women to offer you some goods or to get a massage. The parking space itself is on top of the cliffside, right next to the ocean. So don't forget to enjoy the view, because it is absolutely amazing. To get to the beach itself, you'll have to take the flight of stairs on your left, which will take you all the way down to the beach. It's not as many steps as when you would go and visit some of the waterfalls on the island, but nonetheless it does require you to be fairly mobile. And once you reach the bottom of the stairs, you will find Green Ball Beach. It is fairly small, with rocks on the left of the stairs and some sandy beach area towards the right. And when it's high tide, the beach are mostly get flooded by the ocean, but as you can see, that does not hold back the people who just want to have some fun and have a nice swim in the water. And when you're done at the beach, it's inevitably time to head back up the stairs. And that is Green Ball Beach. Melasti Beach is also located at the southern side of the peninsula. It lies right next to Green Ball Beach. Although Melasti Beach is a lot grander in scale and probably the busiest beach that I've visited. It's also the best maintained beach, and you'll notice this the moment you arrive at the entrance road. Because the road looks a lot better than all the regular roads around it, it's wider, the sidewalks are all in order, and all the grass around it is neatly cut. And driving down this road will get you to the ticket booth, where the entrance price for one foreigner on a motorbike is 12k IDR. And from there you'll continue the road down to the cliffside, where you will be able to overlook Melasti Beach. As you continue your drive down to the beach, it again becomes quite apparent that this place is set up as a well-maintained bathing resort. Everything seems well maintained, with a huge parking space for cars and buses, and also plenty of more trendy beach clubs and lounge restaurants instead of more like local rooms and shops. And at the bottom you'll be greeted by a black traditional Balinese entrance gate, which will take you into the beach area of Melasti Beach. Now the beach area itself is quite large, with amazing gold-colored sand and turquoise crystal clear water everywhere. There are beach clubs all along the beach. On one side you have the very trendy beach clubs that even have their own huge pools overlooking the ocean, and there's even a beach pirate ship as a tourist attraction. And on the other side, you have more of a long stretch of beach, where a lot of people can just chill out and enjoy the weather all day. And on that side, the beach does get cut off by some rocks, but you're able to pass them and reach Karma Beach. Melasti Beach is one of the more busier and trendier beaches that I've seen, and is more catered towards the trendy outgoing tourist which loves to go to a beach club. And that is Melasti Beach. The next beach that I want to show you lies more towards the southwest tip of the peninsula, near Uluwatu, and it's called Nyang Nyang Beach. To get there you can just take the amazing Yala Raya Uluwatu Bekatu road till you reach the exit to the Nyang Nyang Beach road. And when I was there was no one collecting any entrance fee, but you can see that I am passing a gate, so I'm not really sure if it's always free entrance or if someone was just lazy that day. Now you can drive all the way down with your scooter, but the road down is very bumpy and very steep. If you don't feel that comfortable to drive yourself up and down, there are some locals who offer you to drive you up and down for a small fee. And once you get down to the beachfront, you will be greeted by a beautiful golden beach and blue ocean water. Now this beach is quite large, so it does cover a long stretch of the coastline. Once you're on the beach and you turn right, you'll see that there is a nice stretch of beach on that side. And it gets cut off by the cliffside and rocks that reach all the way into the water. And you're not really able to see it from the beach, but the cliffs look absolutely amazing. And now if you turn around and head in the other direction, you will cross a little bar at the beach entrance again, which is the only established accommodation with some nice cold drinks on the beach, besides maybe a few improvised stalls with drinks further up the beach. You are able to walk quite far along the beach, crossing some stretches of rocks in the sand every now and then, but it seems like you can go on endlessly. So there is plenty of space to pick a nice and quiet spot if you would like that. Now the nice thing in that regard is that this beach is not that well developed yet. Unlike Melasti and Pandawa beach, but they probably started in the same way as this beach did. But here on this beach, there is still this forest-filled cliffside with, interestingly, a long stretch of flat grassland running parallel to the beach. And another peculiar thing about this beach is that there is this abandoned passenger airplane standing right on the edge of the cliff. It is accessible for tourists to take pictures if you want, but it is a very peculiar item to find in such a place. And from up here, you can clearly see the steep road that you need to take to get down to the beach. But also, how amazingly beautiful Bali beaches look from the sky. And that is Nyang Nyang Beach. Uluwatu Beach, also known as Sulawesi Beach, is quite a special beach, I would say, because of the way you'll need to access it, as it is located for a large part underneath the cliffs. And it's also very dependent on the tides whether or not you'll be able to properly access the beach. It is located at the most western part of the South Kuta Peninsula. You can enter the area from the Yalamamu Road, and you'll have to pay a 5k IDR entrance fee if you're by motorbike. And from there you can drive all the way to the end where you'll find a large parking space. Like most of the beaches in the peninsula, Uluwatu Beach also lies at the bottom of some cliffs. But the way to access the beach feels a little bit obscure, as at the top of the cliffs, after the parking lot, you'll have to walk in the direction of the single fin bar. Just before the entrance of the bar, you'll have to go left to go down to the beach. Don't go right, as that will take you into the single fin cliffside bar, which is one of the more famous bars in the area. From there, you'll have to continue your way down several stairs. Passing a lot of little bars that have live music or DJs in the evening. And you'll have to continue through some more small corridors to reach the semi-floating concrete stairs. Which will eventually lead you to the entrance of the beach. The entrance of the beach lies below the protruding cliffside around it, causing it to be covered in shadow. Now I have been to this beach before, but this time when I had my camera equipment with me, it was high tide, causing most of the beach that lies outside of the cliffs to be inaccessible for beachgoers. Unless you are a surfer just trying to get into the water. The water can also reach pretty far underneath the cliffs, often catching some poor soul off guard who's just trying to catch a quick picture. And then it often requires some retrieval of lost flip-flops from the waves. when it is low tide, you'll be able to go out and also go around the cliffs, with parts like these normally being open and accessible. But when it is high tide, it gives you a good excuse just to chill at one of the many cliffside bars and just enjoy a drink or two. And watch what Uluwatu is famous for, its waves. And that is Uluwatu Beach. I wouldn't say it's the best beach for a regular beachgoer, but it is a perfect place just to grab a drink, enjoy the view over the ocean, and if you have some clear skies, enjoy a nice sunset. And that is Uluwatu Beach. Padang Padang Beach lies to the west of the peninsula, and it has a very interesting location, as it lies at the bottom between two cliff sides. You're able to see it from the connecting bridge between those two cliffs. The entrance to it lies across a large parking area, where some stairs will take you down to the beach. And I think originally there was just one stairs to take you down to the beach, which was this one, which would take you through a narrow corridor in the rocks. But nowadays there's also a more appropriate stairs that doesn't require you to squeeze through the rocks. And these stairs are basically towards the right of the entrance. But eventually, both stairs will lead you towards the Padang Padang Beach. The beach itself runs fairly deep into an alcove, where you will find another stairs, but I'm not really that sure where this one leads to. And the beach itself is also not that long. But as I mentioned, it is fairly deep at the entrance, so it does provide plenty of space for people to sit. And most of the time, there are quite some people over there, especially foreigners. On one side, the beach is closed off by the cliffside, where the water runs fairly deep underneath it. And on the other side, you have some natural rocks on the beach and in the water. But do be careful, as the rocks can be pretty sharp. Now at the end, the beach is cut off by all these boulders in the sand. But to the left of it, there is one big rock which has some stairs that can lead you on top of it. And there you can even find a little shrine. But from there you can also have a nice lookout over the ocean. Or have a little sneak peek at the cliffside villas. And that is Padang Padang Beach. Bingin Beach is a bit of a special beach, and in a minute I'll show you exactly why. Bingin Beach lies on the western side of the peninsula, in between Dreamland Beach and Padang Padang Beach. You can reach it by car, but best would be to go by motorbike. If you are on your bike and you see this sign, turn back because you just missed the parking. The entrance fee to the beach, by the way, is free, but you will need to pay a parking fee of 5k IDR per motorbike. So from the sign you just saw, you will have to continue on foot. The path will lead you through some of the narrow corridors towards the stairway, and once you go around the corner over there, things will open up and you'll be able to look all the way out onto the ocean. Now, one of the special things about Bingin beaches is that it feels and looks more like you're somewhere on a cliffside in the Mediterranean Sea. There are many different little paths down that branch off from the stairs that you came in on. So you can try to figure out on your own what path to take down. But once you've beaten the maze of stairs, you will reach Bingin Beach. The beach itself is not a particularly large or beautiful beach. When you're there, you'll probably notice that the sand grains are quite coarse and that there are a lot of pebbles in the sand. And the beach is closed off by a lot of pointy rocks. On both ends of the beach. But the charm of Bingin Beach comes from its Mediterranean vibe. You'll find that the whole cliffside is filled with differently elevated bars, restaurants and hotels. And they all provide this nice view over the ocean. And it absolutely amazes me how they're able to build all of this on the side of the cliffs and on top of the cliffs. That is Bingin Beach. It has a bit of a rocky side to it, but nonetheless it is a great place just to chill out on the beach or to sit and enjoy the view from one of the many bars or restaurants on the cliffside. And that is Bingin Beach. Balangan Beach is located on the western side of the peninsula, at the most western tip of Jimbaran. I wish I had filmed my drive over there, because at a certain point it felt like there was a speed bump in the road every 50 meters or so. And now the roads themselves are already quite bumpy, so having these additional speed bumps made for quite a bumpy surprise here and there. Now, Balangan Beach is a really nice beach, because you get greeted by cows when you park your motorbike. But all jokes aside, it is a fairly large beach that is situated between two cliffs on either side. With here and there some rocks on the beach, but watch your step because some of them are fairly sharp. It also feels very much like a surfer's beach, with many surf schools and little waroons situated in the little beach houses on the stilts. And you will find a lot of surfers in the water trying to catch the waves. But besides surfing, there's also plenty of space just to kick back and relax on the beach with a nice comfy bed under an umbrella. And one of the other nice things about this beach is that if you walk towards the northern part, you will come across this cliff, which has an amazing lookout point on the top. It gives you well over a 180-degree view over the ocean and over Balangan Beach. And it is even nice enough there to get your wedding photos taken. Or to do some cliffside barbecuing with some of your friends. And that is Balangan Beach. The next beach that I would like to show you is the last beach from this series on the beaches of the South Kuta Peninsula. And I would have to say that this beach probably resonates the most with me, because of its general vibe and the amazing views. And this beach is named Dreamland Beach. Dreamland Beach lies on the western side of the peninsula, right on the border of Kuta Golf and the Bukit area. You're able to access the beach from both areas, but I would probably recommend going through the Bukit to be able to park a little bit closer towards the beach. However, driving through Kuta Golf is also really nice. And there's a quick shortcut for motorbikes to get from Kuta Golf to the Bukit area. And I will probably show you that in a different motorbike driving video. It is easy to determine from which side you are entering the beach, as next to the very distinguishable Kelapa Beach Club building with the pointy glass dome and infinity pool, you have a little stream of water. The Kuta Golf entrance takes you along the Kelapa building side, along a few tourist shops. The Bukit side entrance brings you straight up to the beach along the cliff side. You will enter the beach at the main area, which is normally where most people reside. It has a few warungs and vendors where you can rent a bed and umbrella for the day. These are the very distinguishable pink umbrellas. On the left of the entrance, you basically have the start of the cliffside, where you'll find a lot of sharply pointed rocks where the water dances through. The cliffside starts here and basically runs all the way along the coastline, all the way up to Nusa Dua in the eastern part of the peninsula. Now there's a lot more to explore in the other direction of the beach. It is the part that lies in front of the Umara Bali Villa Resort. This part of the beach feels quieter, so if you just want to lay down your beach towel for some more rest and relaxation, this part of the beach is just perfect for you. You can walk till the end of the beach up to the point where the sand transitions into rocks. Now another very nice thing about this beach is that you can also easily walk up the near side cliff, because the side is a grass patch that has a gentle slope upwards, which is very walkable. And up on the cliff, you can enjoy an amazing view over the beach. Admire the waves down below, or just enjoy the view over the ocean, where you can maybe even spot a volcano or two in the distance. It is also the place where many locals will drive up to with their motorbikes, or even their car, just to enjoy one of those amazing sunsets that this beach offers every day. And that is Dreamland Beach. I know that this isn't a complete list of all the beaches that you can find in the South Kuta Peninsula. I might have missed one here or there, but it is a list of most of them, and especially the most popular ones. So I hope this video helps you in finding the best beach of your liking. So that is the beaches of South Kuta, Bali. And if you enjoyed this video, and you would like to see more content like this, consider liking the video, subscribing to my channel, or maybe make a small donation through one of the links in the description below. It'll definitely help me grow my channel and create more content like this for your viewing pleasure. So I'll see you in the next video.